So, I went to a Panic at the Disco concert the other day, and the concert itself was great. It was free, first of all, which was pretty awesome. Brendan Urie's hair, A+. His voice live, oh my god, amazing. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And they played all the best songs, so the concert itself was great. What wasn't so great was the concert experience. I don't know what it is about concert culture that makes everybody feel entitled to be complete assholes, pardon my language, but like, oh my god, I don't know if it's because it's so crowded and hot or if because everybody's favorite artist is on stage, but at concerts, people treat other people in ways that I would really hope they would never treat people in real life. The number of people who showed up like 20 minutes before the concert was gonna start and thought it would be okay to try to push their way to the front of all the people who'd been waiting there for like 2 hours was absolutely ridiculous. Now you might just be like, oh Marissa, that's just how concerts are. You kind of just have to deal with it. And maybe I do have a little bit of a low tolerance for people who are really inconsiderate. But when you put this in the context of like outside of concert life, you can see how absolutely absurd this behavior is. Imagine you're waiting in line at a grocery store and it's pretty crowded and people are buying a lot. Maybe it's Christmas and everyone's buying last minute Christmas dinner supplies or whatever. So you've been waiting there a while. And then all of a sudden person A, let's call her Susan, who also has a bunch of stuff, decides to cut right in front of you in line, and you're just like, whoa, excuse me, rude, like, hello, I've been waiting here patiently, you can't just do that. And at the same time, person B, Jackson, decides to go in line behind you, and Susan turns around and says to Jackson, what are you doing way back there? Come up here with me. And then glares at you in a step aside or die kind of way. And you're just like, come on man, I got a family to feed. At this rate, they're not gonna get their Christmas dinner until New Year's, but you don't want to start anything, so you just kind of stand there and ignore them and don't say anything. But then Susan decides to go full on asshole mode, and she pushes past you, grabs Jackson, pulls him forward, and in the process he slams into you, and all of a sudden your groceries are all over the floor, the cashier's calling for a cleanup on aisle 3, and your family is never gonna get their Christmas dinner. What the fuck, Susan? That metaphor may have gone a little bit too far. Sorry. But that situation did happen like 20 times before the concert even started. Although not at a grocery store, obviously. There's this group of 6 kids who were like 12, and 2 of them ended up in front of me and my friend who went to the concert with me, and then 4 of them ended up behind us. And not only was there loud complaining about, oh, I want to be with my friends, blah, 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 and like angry glaring and whatever, but they also started loudly talking about how one of their friends in front of us was like really sick and gonna puke everywhere, and I don't know why they thought that that would make us want to let them go in front of us, because like if your friend's sick, you should probably like leave and go take care of him. Maybe take him to a hospital if he threw up like 6 times on the way there. I don't know. And then it gets better. So they started smoking hookah and blowing the smoke in our faces. Now, not only is this incredibly rude and inconsiderate and kind of made me want to take their little hookah pens and shove them up their noses, but the friend that I was with has asthma. She has asthma, and they were blowing smoke in our faces. And then there were people passing the time throwing goldfish at people's heads, and there were the people that had their DSLRs up the entire time taking really blurry, really horrible pictures, but they were just determined to block everyone's view. I had an attempted crowd surfer fall on me, like literally butt to head. I would have ended up being smashed into the concrete if I hadn't seen it coming. Usually when you're surrounded by people who have all come together because they share a love or a passion for something, everyone's super nice and enthusiastic and it's fun and you meet some really cool people. But for some reason at concerts, there's a crazy sense of entitlement and a complete lack of respect for the rest of the people there. And I don't like it one bit. Clearly, because of the long rant I just did. You know, it can take a really great concert and make it not so much fun. If you have any thoughts about this, please leave them down in the comments below and we can rant together, because goodness knows I have a lot more ranting in me about this subject. And if you have any concert experiences that you'd like to share, I'd love to read those too. In the meantime, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!